All my life, I've known that I'm a little bit different. From the kids picking on me at school, to the way my sisters didn't like me that much at home, to the way I started reading at the age of 3. My parents were shocked. They had me put into the gifted program, which rapidly became being put into the special ed program. Because I also had behavioral issues. At least that's what they call them when a psychologist is in charge. I just wanted to know why. I really wanted to know why. When someone would do something that I didn't understand, I'd ask them why, and they'd tell me, "Don't have an attitude." I just wanted to know why. Is that an attitude? Well, if so, then I must really have an attitude, because I want to know why about everything. Well, later on, I started looking into philosophy and religion and all sorts of similar things, and something was missing. And I knew something was missing because other people seemed to get something I didn't get. Well, I finally found out. One day, as I was sitting on my bed reading a book, suddenly a confluence of thoughts, a memory of a story I'd read on the internet. A little bit in a book I was reading currently, and of all things, Art Bell's late night talk show, and a gift from above popped into my mind. There are 3 basic types of things: the physical, the logical, and the emotional. The physical is made up of physical objects, things you can touch, or things that affect the real world through physical means in some way, such as light, electrons, all sorts of particles and structures of particles, gravity, everything physical. The logical is everything that is involved with truth. Now, by truth, I don't necessarily mean philosophical truth. I mean concrete, logical truth, the kind that a computer can understand, but an animal can't. Now, this differentiates that part of the mind from the emotional, which is the part that an animal can understand, but a computer can't. I finally found out how I'm different. Most men are physically minded, physically focused, trained and built by the world, ready to do physical things. Most women are emotionally focused. What is important is important. What is passionate is important. Most guys don't understand this. I didn't understand this, but I also didn't understand guys. Well, it turns out I have a logical focus. I have a natural, logical focus. My goal is to find the truth about anything. Even when I've had physical jobs, they've all involved logical procedures, logical steps that result in something that comes together with structure. Triessentialism explains everything that I've just described. There are 2 ways to see triessentialism. There's the ontological grid and the ontological Venn diagram. Ontology, if you're wondering, is in philosophy the study of the categories of things and how they interact. Every area of philosophy has a different ontology. In Freud's ontology, for example, there was the superego and the ego. And in Jung's psychology, it was all focused on the archetypes. Triessentialism also posits a theory of psychology, which I just described in basic terms. Most men are physically focused. Most women are emotionally focused. People like me are logically focused. I only see the physical through the lens of science, and the emotional through the lens of the spiritual. Most women and most men can only understand each other through the lens of the animal instinct. Something which is diametrically opposite to me. Literally. There aren't as many women in science because that's not what they're thinking. There aren't that many men who are really into philosophy and religion, except where it combines with the moral or the physical. For example, Islam is largely a physically focused religion. Buddhism, for example, is a non-physically focused religion. But The moral is what makes us human. We have, unlike animals, reason. We have, unlike computers, a heart. And we have, unlike disembodied spirits, a body. We have the ability to live in 3 realms at the same time. Think of that. We can affect something in the logical, such as doing a math problem, and translate that into physical, and send people to the moon. But also, and you can see it's like any hour-long drama on prime time, we have desires that fight and struggle against each other. The desire to be safe, the desire to fit into society, wars against, he hurt me, I'm going to get him back somehow. And on hour-long dramas, you see a lot of people who lost that struggle and went with their gut. The moral is what makes us human. The moral is also what makes animals pure in their emotions, computers pure in their logic. Finding a moral compass is, I finally discovered, one of the goals of all human existence. And finding a moral compass that you agree with is essential. Finding a way to understand the world is, I found out, of only secondary importance. The moral, which tells us how to avoid becoming a monster. And it's also taught me that having fun is really worth it. Adam Toastmaster.